We're live. Can we keep it real podcast? What's going on, everybody? Let me get my mic a little fixed up here. There we go. Can we keep it real podcast? Thank you, everybody, for being part of another great Wednesday edition. Can we keep it real podcast? I want to thank the people that helped make this possible. First off, shout out to R&R Elite Recruits doing their thing. Information on over 3,000 schools, 30,000 coaches in their network. So definitely check that out. And thank you to Coldwell Banker. Coastal Homes Mock Right, a presidential award winner. Give Mark a call today at 401-787-5203. And a big shout out to Emerson Kilgore over there at 401 Strength and Fitness. Someone that knows how to get it done. Division One, Syracuse University. Emerson doing his thing over there at 401 Strength and Fitness. Always watching, man. We're going into some good games this weekend, man. Keep an eye out for Moses Muse, man. As a sophomore, this boy was... I would say he was the best player coming out of high school football as a sophomore. Definitely going to be able to pick the school he wants to go to. Big shout out to Brown University. Willie Edwards doing his thing. If you got the grades and you could play some ball, check Willie out over there on Twitter. And we're going to bring in our next guest today. Made it up to the NFL ranks, You say Buffalo Bills. Nate Turner played on the Carolina Panthers. If I'm not mistaken, played on two Super Bowls. But we're going to bring him in. But just to make it to that level is what an accomplishment. So we're going to bring him in right now. Let me get this music down out of here. How you doing, Coach? How's everything?
What's that?
All right. Not bad.
All right.
Welcome to the show, man. Thank you very much. I'm actually honored that that you accepted our invitation. Not everybody does. Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers, man. What? That is an extraordinary career you had.
Yeah, it's pretty exceptional. When you're looking back on it, it is. At the time, you're just doing what you do. You know what I mean? Looking back on it now, I'm pretty proud of it.
Oh, you have to be, and I see the little Buffalo Bills helmet behind you. You're a product of Nebraska. You went, if I'm not mistaken, sixth round. In what was it, the 96 draft?
92.
92 draft. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I actually got it right here. 92 draft. What did it mean at that time to get drafted into the NFL?
You know what? At that, it's so much work, and you're working so hard to try to get to that point. You don't even when it happens, you're in awe of it yourself. You know what I mean? What people don't realize is that it's only 1% makes it to the NFL. You know what I mean? It's even less than that to make it to the NBA. So it's an honor and a privilege to be part of that 1%.
So now, and some kids, if their math is not good, you take 100 pennies out of a dollar. One of them pennies go to the NFL, and to the NBA, it's even less than that. Now, I'm a big Kwame Brown fan. Always been a Kwame Brown. I'm someone that don't think he was a bust. To make it to that level, I don't think you could call anybody a bust. And
No, I
I'm
don't
just
think people aren't busts. I think that sometimes they're just missing a piece of the puzzle. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got guys that just are really not as team oriented as you would think. Because once you get to the NFL, you have to lay your ego all the way down. You have to lay your ego all the way down and become a team player completely.
Well, that's something that a good friend of mine, Emerson Kilgore, you heard me mention him early on. He went to Syracuse University, and he mentioned how hard it was just to make it to that point. And I said, "Oh, so when you got to Syracuse, you was able to pull out the lawn chair and relax?" And he said, "Oh no, it got even harder at that point."
Yeah, every step is worse. You know what I mean? High school, you're the greatest player and whatever. You get to college, and everybody's all American. I got to Nebraska and everybody was all American. You know what I mean? So then now you have to set yourself apart from those guys. And then you get to the league, and then you become part of that machine, and you attempt to set yourself apart from those guys.
It's just even watching them guys on TV and then you see them in real life and you don't realize what they do. Now the game gets faster from high school to college, from college to the NFL, and you really have to be on top of your game. A friend of mine, Willie Edwards, who's a coach at Brown University, he said the foundation starts in fifth, sixth, and seventh grade. Laying your foundation. By the time you get to high school, you have to be all in.
Right. Yeah, you
You
have to
know,
be all in. It's as long as you're and that's what happens with kids. Sometimes a kid might not be a football mind. He might be a great player, but he really doesn't study the game and really not a student of the game. So the higher you go, that really shows. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not a student of the game, it ends up becoming a negative because there's a lot of film study, and I don't know if people understand it, but it's a job. You get there in the morning, you eat breakfast, and you're in meetings and film all day until lunch. And then after that, you might have one more meeting before practice. So it's a job, and it's a lot of film study, it's a lot of note taking, and somebody who can't do that is not going to survive.
no, definitely. And when did you realize that you wanted to, be a football coach?
You know what? As my boys got old, when my boys were old enough, my oldest, when he was old enough to play, I knew that I wanted to coach, and I knew that I wanted to, make a difference in some kids' lives. Because coming through high school and through college and through the pros, I was blessed. I played for Frank Linty at Mount Carmel High School, who's a Hall of Fame coach. I played for Tom Osborne, who was a Hall of Fame coach. I played for Marv Levy in Buffalo, who's another Hall of Fame coach. So it's just, you want to give those lessons. You want to give those lessons, and you want to have that type of impact on kids' life.
So you was blessed to play for several Hall of Fame coaches, and that must mean a lot to you today.
Yeah, that means everything, man. I tell you, it's not a decision that I make that I don't think about something either my father said or something one of my great coaches have said.
I mean, yeah, no, that's definitely, and your family must be so proud of you, when you made it to that level, and your community, gets behind you, and you must be like a local hero.
Yeah, I'm just a kid from the South Side of Chicago, man. You know what I mean? And I try to keep it that way. I try to be as humble as possible. I mean, yeah, I've done some things, but you know, God blessed me to do those things. It wasn't all my doing. You know what I mean? So I can't really. I mean, I put in the work, but He gave me the opportunity to put in the work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. I asked one of our young bowlers the other day, Moses Muse, blessed young man, and I said, have you thought about college yet? Have you thought about what college you're going to go to? And he said, you know what? God's going to make that decision for me. He said, I don't even have to worry about that.
Right.
And that was very mature for a 15, 16-year-old young man to actually to say that.
Right. Yeah. No. No doubt. You got. And that ends up being a lot of the issues where you don't. You start believing that you did it by yourself, and nothing that happens on earth is by itself. You know what I mean? Somebody has put you in a situation, and you need to give them 100% credit for it.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, how do you separate dad from the coach? From when are you dad, when are you the coach?
You know what? I'm dad at home. You know what I mean? And I'm coach on the field. So I mean, even coaching both of my boys in youth football and both of them in high school. I just you always call me coach, and the one thing that I've always had an issue with is that having doing what I've done, kids and parents sometimes they seem to think that my kid is going to get, the upper hand because they don't have my lineage. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I have to make sure, you know, like both my sons are quarterbacks. My oldest one, who he was a quarterback when he was playing, and my youngest was a quarterback. And I just have to make sure I put them in a situation where they're learning a lot and they're working hard, and there is no question. You know what I'm saying? There's no question who the best quarterback is. So nobody can say, well, the only reason Tyler is doing this and that is because Nate's his dad. And that happens a lot. So that was one thing I know I had to do, is make sure they're prepared to handle, criticism, and make sure I'm prepared to have them prepared.
Because I'm sure the criticism must come. I know a kid, his great grandfather was in the NFL, and they said you have it easy because your great grand. He said I didn't even know my great
Right,
grandfather.
exactly.
You know, So
Yeah,
how do you teach these kids to deal with that? To have thick skin? That's not something that's easily taught.
no, it's not. It's just, you know what? You just have to be honest with them. You know what I mean? You have to be honest, and just like I tell my boys, if you need to work, as long as you're playing this game, you have to work hard until you get a gold jacket, and the gold jacket will be NFL Hall of Fame. If you continue working, and then if it's cut short before that, you've worked as hard as you could. You know what I mean? Just work as hard as you can, and you can always get better. You can always learn, and as long as you have that attitude, it makes things easy. It makes things easy.
Well, my good friend Emerson Kilgore tells me that success in football is playing any level after high school.
Right? No, 100%. 100%. But the ability to, and it's a huge market, and it's a lot of schools, and there are, you can go to school for free, and that's making it to me. You know what I mean? You go to school for free and get yourself a degree. I had a coach tell me, he said, D1, D2, D3, you need to worry about degree. So the degree is the key.
I like that. You got to worry about the degree, and
Right.
the other thing. None of them degrees say first, second, third
No,
degree
right.
diploma,
There's
first
no D1
division.
degree, right? A degree is a degree.
What's important is that you graduate without debt. You graduate and you do the best you can. And I think it's important. A lot of kids that I mentor that are going on to college, to explain to them that your goal is an education. If the NFL comes along or if a career comes along, that's great. That's a
100%.
bonus. Your
Bonus.
goal is to educate yourself and to get out of your situation that you're in.
Right. I agree
Especially,
100%.
yeah, definitely. And where you come from, Chicago, which is a really rough place, no matter what side you're on. I went to Chicago years ago, and the guy at the door said, "Don't go that way.
Right.
Go that way." So I said,
Right.
"I got to go." Me, I go the way that I'm told not to go. you,
Right.
but yeah, really, really tough place. So I'm sure you have to worry about getting your son to school and also teaching him to stay alive in some of these communities.
Yeah. Well, the, the ability to manage your business, and your ability to stay in your own lane is key. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, my sons don't sell drugs. They don't deal with drugs. So therefore, that eliminates that out of it. You know what I mean? They're not dealing in any stolen merchandise market. So they're out of that. So I mean, really, if you're an athlete in Chicago and you seriously want to do better, all you do is practice, and then you're too tired to do anything when you go home. You go home, go to bed, and you get up and do it again. And you do that until it's time to go to college. It makes
Now,
it simple.
yeah, no, exactly. Now, Chicago you have a big football program in Chicago. I was looking on the Max Preps, and I was seeing pages and pages and pages of football teams. How many teams are actually in your divisions?
You know what? In Chicago, there are probably, in the public league, there are probably 60 teams. And in the Catholic League, that's probably another 40 teams. And then the surrounding suburbs, it's another 100 teams, and that's just in like in one county in Cook County. So I mean, it's a lot of teams, man. It's a lot of teams. It's a lot of good teams, a lot of teams with some history. You know, it's just it's a tough market, man. It's a tough market.
It definitely is. I mean, when you said a private league, that's awesome. I'm in a small state like Rhode Island, and the privates are mixed in with the publics, and you can already imagine how unfair that can be.
All right,
Privates go
right,
under different set of rules, and we have for a small state, you could fit this in Lake Pontchartrain, like very small state, Rhode Island. We have 4 Super Bowls.
right.
Each division has their own Super Bowl. Is that similar to what Chicago does?
Well, Chicago, we have a city championship, but that's usually not as important as the state. You want to win state, so I think we have 8 different levels of. We have from 1A to 8A. There are a bunch of teams in each. The 1A, those are the smaller enrollment schools, and then all the way to 8A. And we just roll like that and just uh, try to keep everything as fair as it can be.
Loyola, that's a Chicago program, isn't it?
Is yes, a suburban Chicago program. It's a big program.
I pay attention. I love high school football. It's something that I have a passion for, and I study max preps very well. And I get upset when coaches don't take advantage of max preps because I say, if you're not taking advantage of max preps, how are these other people going to notice your child, and how's your kid going to make the region's top 25 list if we're not updating the stats
Right.
on max preps? Does Chicago use max preps? Because I know some interscholastic leagues don't.
You know what? Yeah, I think we do, and it's not as prevalent as you would think, but I think yeah, we do. We use Max Prep,
I
and
mean,
it's a good Max Preps is a good deal.
I love max preps. I like the science that they put it down. They put a lot of history into max preps. D1, we have a comment. D1, D2, D3 doesn't matter as long as you get the degree. Well said, exactly. And that makes a lot of sense because a lot of these kids, and I'm constantly telling kids like, go to school, man, because that's the only way you're gonna get ahead in life. Oh no, I'm gonna make this money on the streets, and it's like that's a lie. If I
Right,
can't tell the kids anything enough, and I came from a pretty rough inner city, nothing like Chicago, but so it's rough out there, and it's all a lie. So I try to tell these kids, if you want to call yourself a G or an OG, that's getting a graduate. That's graduating high
right,
school.
right. Let's get out of here.
It's and I couldn't preach that enough. I like what a lot of these young guys do, and do you think that some of these city schools should be bringing in some of these guys from the streets that proved themselves, maybe guys that got in trouble years ago and they've been given back over years and years? Should football programs be bringing these guys in?
Yeah, I think they should. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have it built in. It's a built-in situation. Like my alma mater is Mount Carmel High School, so gone back there and spoken. Some kids that have made it from Phillips High School. My son goes, they've come back and talked. So it's kind of a built-in situation. And usually, if the coach is still there, the kid usually comes back and gives back to the program in some way, shape, or form.
So your son plays your former school.
Yeah, yeah.
That must be bittersweet.
Yeah, it's tough, man. My son goes to a smaller school. Phillips is a smaller school in enrollment, so they don't have the numbers that a Loyola has. Loyola's got 170 football players in the program, 200 kids in the program, where we only have like maybe 80. So that makes a difference over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Now, is your son's school, is that a public program?
Yeah, it's a public school.
Now, I'm sure he had a choice. I'm sure you had offers to go to these nice private schools, just probably being,
Yeah,
who you are.
yeah, it's different though. You don't want to. Some people do it, but that's just the way I am with my children. I don't need to. I don't want to baby my children. I don't want them to have a silver spoon in their mouth. I want them to earn everything they get. And that's just the way I've raised them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put them in a situation that's cushy because life isn't cushy. You know what I mean? Life isn't cushy, and you need to fight for things. Sometimes you got to bleed for things. You know what I mean? You have to fight and claw for everything you have to earn. So and when you earn it, it's well earned instead of given.
I mean, that's the best way put, and I go back to my friend Emerson who talks about, he was in a public school, and Bishop Hendricken in Rhode Island they just sent Quiddy Pay to Michigan. From there, Quiddy Pay is now in the NFL. Went first round, 21st pick, and he's probably going to be one of the most explosive rookies. But these private schools are sending these kids to public schools. But some people that made it from public schools like have a message. It's all in the body of work that you put
Right.
in.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. You put in the work, and then it shows. The film doesn't lie. The coach said the film doesn't lie.
No, definitely, film does not lie, and that's probably your best adversary is the film. Not adversary, but that's probably your best tool. Film work, film work.
100%. 100%. If you play well, you play well. If you don't play well, and that's what I think this whole 7-on-7 thing that's been happening across the country. It's kind of cool, but then you're creating kids that don't tackle. You're creating quarterbacks that wait way too long in the pocket and end up getting sacked. It creates some weird situations. But then you have kids that can play well without pads on because they know that, real bullets aren't flying. And then when the real bullets start flying and you put on the armor, they're a different player.
Right, you have groups like behind the pads. He's going to come in tonight about 9 o'clock, and Nadim Robinson. He's taking his kids to they're defending their title from last year, the NFL flag championship game. You actually see him in the background, and he calls it behind the pads because he said when the pads come out, we put the pads on. He says that it's a good way to keep these kids off the streets, constantly
Oh, no doubt.
doing
I
something.
get that. Yeah, no, 100%. I get that. But if you're that kid, you're gonna be off the street anyway. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
you
no,
if you
definitely.
if you're gonna be working out and trying to be better, that's what you're gonna be doing. So yeah, it's great to get kids off the street, but the ones that are gonna be off the street anyway are the ones that want that aren't scared to be great. You know what I'm saying? The ones that want to push themselves and the ones that want to be better.
No, you're absolutely right. And, I was having a conversation the other day about, we're going into our season and kids failed off last season, the COVID year, and they're being ineligible for football. And I said, should we send them a lifeline? And someone said, well, they did have all summer to make it up and they still didn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, but, and they're like, no, I'm trying to fight for these kids so hard to like let's figure something out instead of just saying
Right.
nope, you're not eligible into next season. What do you feel about?
Well, that's what a good coach and a good mentor does anyway. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be on top of kids regardless of whether you're in the limelight or not. What was it? 18 months we went without anything really. No football, no team meetings, no people that were scared to do stuff. My son being a quarterback, he wanted to throw the ball. Every now and again, we get some kids whose parents weren't scared and they come over and he played. But I ended up getting him one of those nets to throw into, and he was throwing to the net, by himself all day. I mean, that's all you had to. And then school was online. So you go to school online and then you go work out.
So he couldn't wait for live play.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know, going into this season, do you think we gave these kids enough time to get their bodies ready? You know, some leagues only gave them the minimum of the 10 days that you're supposed to have on with pads and stuff. I'm seeing
Right,
it all over the country.
right.
Are we going to see kids, getting hurt because not enough conditioning?
I don't think you're gonna see kids getting hurt. What I've seen is kids not, you know, doing the basics. Like tackling has really suffered. Tackling has really suffered because, I mean, the last thing they've been able to do was, 7-on-7 this summer, and then the 7-on-7, you know, before, during COVID, we had some 7-on-7. We had some people that went to Indiana because Indiana was a looser state as far as, restrictions. So you could still have stuff indoors, with masks. So we went to Indiana and did a lot of, indoor stuff. So I mean, yeah, I mean, tackling the stuff with the pads on really hurt a little bit. The blocking, the tackling, offensive line play, defensive line play. It suffers.
You know what, you're absolutely right because we had I was watching some games last week and it was the first live play. You know, we had a spring season, so they allowed that, but still, the most thing I noticed was poor tackling. You
Right,
know, not squaring up with the defender. You know, I just
right,
noticed a
right.
lot of that, a lot of waggle problems, a lot of people lining up. Linemen too. I don't think we have enough lineman camps going on. We have all these 7-on-7s. You know,
Exactly.
what
You
do we
should have.
have for
It
the
should be
linemen?
equal. It should be equal lineman camps also. I mean, without the lineman, you can't play football for real.
That is the
And that's
one position.
what we want to do. Without the fat guys, this whole thing doesn't go. You know what I mean? The whole thing doesn't go without them.
No, you're absolutely right. That is the one position that we definitely need to play the game. Another thing that I think the game is suffering across the country is officiating. And is it? I wouldn't really say it's because of the officiating. I think it's because a lot of the it's an unthankful position. They get a lot of gripe from officials, from parents. How do we get more officials across the country? Because I'm hearing we're at a we're really at a low for number of officiating throughout high
Well,
school.
I think the issues we have in Chicago is that on the youth level, the parents are so crazy that it doesn't even pay to be a ref. The $60 you make isn't even worth it to ref a game. You got guys that are waiting in the parking lot for refs because they made a call. I was taught that the ref is part of the game, good, bad, and indifferent. They're just like the field. They are part of the game. There's no You can't coach against the refs. You can't coach. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But these people nowadays, oh my God, they're incredible, and they've caused people to, you know, turn away from being refs because they
And
don't want the problem.
it's happening everywhere. I can only imagine Chicago. Them refs don't want no smoke with any block.
Zero smoke, right?
And we always know Chicago, Chicago. Everybody, you know, um, it's always Chicago that gets mentioned. Because things are just they're
Crazy,
bad everywhere, but they're
right? Right,
definitely
really
bad
bad, right?
over in Chicago. How does your son handle having coach and dad? How does he separate the two?
You know what? I mean, I don't know, being raised the way they were raised, and football being such a big part of their lives, they know what it is. They know I'm on football field. I'm coach. At home, I'm dad. If I feel, and I never coached them during a team situation. If I'm going to help my son, either one of them, I would help them. It would be after practice on our own time. Because I want to give equal time to everybody. So during practice, I give equal time to everybody. They just lucky enough to have my time off time.
What would you tell like students, like your son, that really are going through this process and are serious about it? What to expect? The transition from high school to college, or even from college to the pros.
To trust the process. Work as hard as you can. Don't, you want to go to a school that wants you, not where you want to go. Like everyone wants to go to Notre Dame or Alabama, you know what I mean? But odds are, odds are you're not going to play there. You know what I mean? The odds are, if they're coming after you, there's an opportunity for you to play. And still, then, Alabama has the most transfers every year. Kids in the portal, because they
Mm.
get there and they think it's one thing and it's really not. So you need to go to a school where you're going to be uh, loved and coached, and they want you. So that would be, I mean, D2, D3, NAIA. If wherever your talent is gonna, it's gonna end up being what it is anyway. A lot of kids, I've seen kids go D1 and then have to transfer out, end up at an NAIA, because that's their true talent level. You know what I mean? Like something slipped through the cracks and it didn't work out the way they thought. But as long as you work hard and trust the process, everything will be fine. But it's the hard work part that's where people fail. And never read your own press clipping. You're never great. You're never great until you go to that. When you're great, you go to Canton and they give you a jacket and you get a bust. That's when you can relax in this game. You know what I mean? Until then, you just have to work your ass off and study. And school is part of it. School is part of it, because if you start, laxing up in any part of your life, that becomes cancer. So if you start taking it easy in class, you're gonna start taking it easy in the sprints. You're gonna start taking it easy on little things. So then you won't be the best player you can be. So it's best just to take the attitude of, I'm gonna work as hard as I can at everything I do, and life is gravy after that.
Oh, you have so much great advice, and I'm sure you learned it all by experience. Speaking of experience, can you tell us a Super Bowl story?
Which one? Jeez.
Any, I
So,
mean, you experienced it.
yeah. So you know what? It's surreal, and you really don't. It's you get to a certain point, and I'm as a rookie, when I made the lineup where I'm running some plays with the ones, and I'm looking around the huddle, and it's Jim Kelly and Andre Reed and Pete Metzelaar, just like guys I've watched on TV for years as a kid. You know what I mean? And here go these guys. I'm really with these guys, and that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing, deal for a kid, because you're still a fan and you're still a kid, regardless of how old you are. You can just tell by the way uh, the numbers for the NFL Network are. You know what I mean? People love football as a kid, and you love football and you love it as a man as a kid.
I mean, I can only imagine. I know Cam Newton responded to a text message to me, well, like, social media message, and I was so giddy just over,
Right.
a way to go, or, just the few words that he said. But I was like, I've been a New England fan a long time, back when they weren't that great, when they had
Right.
the metal benches, and
Right. Right.
so Tom Brady never even, you can't get him to do anything like that. So for a
No.
quarterback of any NFL team just to take a minute out of their day and respond to you, I was kind of giddy, but
And
Super
all
Bowl.
guys, all guys aren't the same. You know what I mean? I mean, some guys are a little more down to earth than others. Like anything else. You got some guys that live in that bubble, being arrogant, and then some guys just live normal lives, you know, and those are the guys that usually do really well for a long time.
Jim Kelly seemed like a real down to earth person.
300%. Jim was a great guy, still a great guy,
Still a great guy. I
still a
mean,
great
when
guy. The
he
kid,
was.
kicked cancer's ass twice.
Yes, he
Still,
did.
still a great guy, man. Tough, toughest dude I've ever seen. I mean, people don't realize he got uh, what's the coach's name? Joe Paterno recruited him to play linebacker at Penn State.
Yeah, I mean Jim Kelly, and he, you see him out of uniform, and it's like he just didn't look.
Right.
He didn't have that type of look, like Doug Flutie was another guy, similar that just didn't look the part, and
Right.
great guy,
It,
great
it
football
just it
player.
just it just goes to show you that the look means nothing. I mean, I played with Steve Tasker too, man. He looked like he was the paper boy, but you didn't want to line up in front of him. you know. Yeah.
Now I seen on your social media on Donovan McNabb was on. Was that Donovan McNabb standing there with a young player,
Oh,
or was that Randall?
with my both my boys when they were
Yes,
younger.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and then I seen the old Patriots player called Sam Cunningham,
Right.
which
Right.
was Randall's brother, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, it's his older brother, Sam Bam Cunningham.
Do you keep contact with the Buffalo organization anymore,
Yeah,
or any of
definitely,
your
definitely.
players?
You know what? We get together. We try to get together every year, early in the year. It's been tough for me because my boys play, but I try to get back. We went back for the organization invited all of us back for Thurman's jersey retirement. It was a couple of years ago, but we try to get back. I keep in contact with all my guys, man. I keep in touch with Dre Reed and Thurman. I keep in touch with all of them.
Shout out Thurman Tommy. He was like you couldn't really. He was like a machine.
Yeah,
That was a great era for Buffalo. And it
yeah.
looks like they're creating some smoke now. A lot of people have them favored in the AFC East.
Yeah, everything goes through Kansas City still until it doesn't. You know what I mean?
So would it be I would say you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah, yeah, I would say yeah. But my boys being quarterbacks. I mean, and now Josh Allen is tough, man. He's tough. And then Patrick Mahomes. I'm a Kansas City fan. I'd say I'm a Kansas City fan first, then Buffalo after that.
Well, there you go. I mean, I gotta say, like, I always been a New England Patriot fan, but I always had a thing for the Redskins from the Mock Ripken days, Art Monk.
Right,
Then
right,
was
right.
that was some great era of football
Oh,
to
100%.
come up
Yeah.
in. You see Art Monk out there doing his thing. We had some great players, Bo Jackson. We'll never see anything like that ever again.
No, never. Not like that.
What's your thoughts on what Tom Brady's doing and this late in his career, and is it his body or his mind?
I think it's both. I mean, he's figured it out. He's found a fountain of youth somewhere.
He found
And
it. His
so,
coach looks as young as him. His
yeah, so
trainer.
right. So he's eating right and taking care of putting the right stuff in his body. And mentally, I know the game is slow for him because he knows so much football. He's seen everything. There's nothing you can throw at him that he hasn't seen. So, I mean, that makes it easy when you go into a game with a cheat sheet every week.
He's seen it, yeah, and that's what somebody said. They said it's not that the players are not intelligent. They said he's just seen so much and
Right. You can't fool
studied
him.
so
Yeah,
much.
you can't
So
fool him.
no matter how much you learn, he's still gonna be. Salute to him, man. Now that he's doing it, I see a lot more people that are like that were Brady haters, and it was like, you know what, do your thing, old man.
Right. No, so you're a Brady hater, but you hope he comes to your team. You know what I mean?
Oh, everybody. I was like, I don't think there's a team out there that if Tampa Bay called today, unless they had somebody that was, established like a Patty Mahomes,
Right, right,
he was a beast in high school, Patrick Mahomes. He dominated everything he done.
right. Basketball, baseball, and football.
Yeah, I was reading the stats on his senior year, and it was just like unbelievable. He was breaking records every sport he touched for that
Right.
last year, and he's having a lot of success right now. He's
He ran a couple quarterbacks out of we went to Texas Tech, right?
well, yeah, I didn't really know that, but
Yeah, he ran who did he run out of there? He ran what's the kid for the Browns?
Mayweather. I mean, Mayfield.
Yeah, Mayfield was there.
Yeah, Browns are making that push. He is a great, great quarterback. I actually said a couple years ago, and I ate my words. I said, he's one of them mobile quarterbacks that can get hurt very fast. Because you're taking unnecessary risk, but he seems to be doing all
Well,
right.
he's a different type of mobile quarterback. He's just like Patrick Mahomes. He's mobile, but he's mobile. He runs to throw. He doesn't run to run. So you got like a kid like Jackson. He runs to run. He doesn't run to throw. Mahomes, Mayfield, those guys run around to get guys open so they can throw.
Yeah, so it's a totally different environment. Tell
Right.
me a little bit about your company. You have a wide receiver gym?
You know what? I've shut it down during COVID. My wide receiver academy. And I've put some stuff together. Had a couple kids come through there that have gone on to do well. And it's just about mentorship and about leading kids down the right path. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. I mean, the football stuff, and football is easy when you're coaching. If you teach kids, if you teach young boys how to be men and you do it well, winning happens because they learn how to cross their T's and dot their I's, and the little things become important. And what they say, if you can trust somebody with the little things, you can really trust them with the big things. And everybody that I coach, odds are they're going to be uh, a father and they're going to be a husband at some point in time. So you want to raise good fathers and husbands just to help society. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
football, use
definitely.
football as a tool to do that.
Definitely. And I have a good friend, Wes Pennington, and we always talk about. Matter of fact, let me give him a little shout out. He's having a free men's breakfast. If you're gonna be in Rhode Island, Saturday, September 11th at 10 a.m. And we always talk about how we have too many fatherless homes. I think I read 3 out of 4 homes, fatherless homes.
Yeah,
And when you talk about inner cities, especially like Chicago, how are we going to get more of these kids involved in the
right.
football program? Create more vocational schooling. Because we need to get more kids in school and off the streets.
100%, 100%. And and sometimes you have a lot of, and I've seen this a lot lately. It's a lot of single moms that are, and the kid is pretty good, and they're counting on this kid to pull her out the muck. You know what I mean? And it's unfair to do that to a kid. It's unfair to put that type of pressure on the kid. As far as family success, and it's tough, man. You can't do that. So I try to tell people what the real numbers. The real numbers are 1%. That's the real number. The real number is your odds are better winning the lotto than getting to the NFL. That's the truth. The odds are better for you becoming a doctor or lawyer than going to the NFL.
And you're better off being realistic with these kids and let
Right,
them know,
right. The
and
truth, the
yeah, and
truth.
some of these kids are just not it. Because I talked to D1, my buddy, my friend's kid Xavier Truss is down there at Georgia, and he says, he's probably at what they call Rankers now, study hall. He was like, I could go to Rankers, and I asked his dad, "What's Rankers?" And he said that's study hall, but and it's 7, 8 o'clock at night, and they're in study hall.
It's a job, man. That's because football is a job. So when you're in college, you go to class all morning, right? And then you go to lunch, and then you might hit a little class, and then you got meetings. Then you have practice. Then you have to, go take care of you. You got to take a shower, ice up. Now it's time to do your homework. So you got to go to study hall, and and the problem is that on a college campus, if you were to go back to the dorms after practice, those kids have done their homework already. They did the homework while you was at practice. Now they ready to party. So your best thing would be to stay at study hall, get your studying in, and then take your tired ass to bed. You know what I mean? And start over the next day.
This is
Just
so
like
we
you did
could.
when you just like you did when you was in high school. Because it's the same way. The only way to survive is by being on top of your game.
No, you're absolutely right. So we could check Tyler's next game out. I think at Westinghouse September 11th,
Yes,
and then he has a game versus Taft September 17th.
yes.
Them games get live streamed. If maybe there might be some recruiters out there. Was he a junior still, right?
No, he's a senior. He's a senior this year.
Oh, okay. He's a senior, so yeah. I know NFHS does a lot of live stream. We have fans only down this area. Ronnie's platform. Will them games be on the internet?
You know what? I don't think until later on in the year they won't be on the internet until later on in the year.
Definitely, man. But I really appreciate you coming on. Tyler's welcome to come on anytime.
All right, cool,
You
man. I know
know.
he's probably they trying to get ready for this week, so
Oh yeah, yeah. I noticed they had a rough. They had a rough game last week, right?
yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
And I can. You must have been. That was against your
Yeah,
team, so it must
yes,
have been
it
a tough
was.
ride home.
Yeah, it was all right. You know what? He played well, and we had some stuff they need to figure out to get back on track.
My guy Wesley Pennington, he's the coach. I was just telling you about that have the Rally Point Ministries. Get them grades exactly because you need them grades. If you have them grades and you can play football, the recruiters are out there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
They're definitely out there. But thank you. Anything else that you want to add? Maybe something that I didn't cover. I tried to write down everything I wanted to ask you. On not every day. In NFL. Former player comes on, and not only that, you give your life to seems to coaching like many of these guys. So I want to give you
Right,
like Noriega says, I want to give you your flowers now.
right. No, I think that just I think people need to hear this, and people need to be 100% realistic with talent levels of your children. You know what I mean? And that ends up being the issue, and that ends up being a bunch of coaches that get beat up about you didn't get my son into University of Illinois, or you didn't get my son into So I think that a lot of these parents should do their own due diligence and send film out, talk to coaches, call universities, call coaching staff, and do that yourself and then they will tell you the truth. You know what I mean? They will tell you the truth because they don't want to waste their time. They don't want to waste your time. So they'll tell you, if they feel that your kid is, just be honest with a coach and ask them, where do you think my son can, where does he fit in? Does he fit in your program? Does he fit in a lower level program? What do you honestly feel? And that way, nobody's blowing smoke up anybody's ass, and kids aren't hearing Alabama, LSU at home, and that becomes the dream when that really shouldn't be the dream. You know what I mean? And it ends up messing the kid up. It'll ruin the kid's love for the game. I've seen it
You're
happen.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The recruiting starts at home.
Right,
My guys over at Voice Sports, Wayne Matthews, he talks about that. Representing youth consistently. The recruiting starts at home. The parents have to get involved now.
right,
If not, you're not going to like the outcome later because there's there's it just ends nowhere.
right. Everybody feels like their kid. It's everybody's dream for their son to play at Notre Dame or play in the Sugar Bowl. You know what I mean? But the reality is that's not gonna happen for a lot of kids. It's not.
And the type of work that you had to put in to get there. And
Right,
my guy Emerson says the type of work he had to put in to get to Syracuse.
right.
And, like a lot of NFL players, so salute to you. You're always welcome. Nate Turner, Nebraska Cornhuskers, went to the Buffalo Bills Super Bowls when I played Carolina Panthers. You were involved with rugby,
Yeah.
coaching. You did a lot. You definitely deserve your flowers. Thank you very much. And tell Tyler he's definitely welcome anytime. Even all his captains, if the coaches, any coaches in Chicago, I'll tell you right now, any coaches in Chicago that want to bring their captains on, I can have up to 10 guests at the same time.
Okay.
So extend that offer and just have him reach me. I every night I'm on, basically around 8, 9 o'clock, and
Right.
definitely I would love to have the captains come on from any team, any coach that wants to promote their program.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it, Nate Turner,
No problem.
my guy. All right, have a good day.
All right. Take it light.
Nate Turner played for the Buffalo Bills, played in Super Bowls, talked about Jim Kelly. We're going to have Coach Nod coming up next. Coach Nod bringing his boys behind the pads, bringing them to San Diego. So Coach Nod will be in a few minutes. Maybe he's watching. He could hit that link whenever he's ready. Shout out Coach Wes Pennington getting them boys ready for a game that's gonna be on Fans Only Sports. Haha. West Warwick Wizards, man. I gotta say they looked pretty good the other day, and I know it was just an injury fun game, but West Warwick looked pretty good. Quarterbacks were slinging the ball. West is doing a great job. West Warwick hasn't seen that kind of chemistry in a while, so definitely shout out to West Warwick Wizards, what they're doing. I heard they have a very good youth program doing their thing. So coming up next, behind the pad. So give us a minute. We'll get him up in here, and let me get you a little bit of. Let me get you something to watch. But this is a great time just to, everybody that really helps us out with the podcast. Definitely thank you to Ronnie Roberts, what he does. I got his little piece right here. Ronnie Roberts, information on over 3,000 schools, over 30,000 coaches in his platform. And this is something that's very important. The only way to stand is together. Rally Point Ministries, free men's breakfast. I mean, it's free, and it's breakfast. And there's going to be a great pastor there, Pastor Frank Reddy. I hope I said that right. On Saturday, September 11th, 10 a.m. We're definitely going to have to get Wes up in here. I'll bait him with that, and we'll talk some football. But don't let him know. It's going to be at Sacred Exchange Fellowship, 75 Division Street, Warwick, Rhode Island. So we'll get Wes up in here soon, and we'll talk to him about Rally Point, and we'll bait him, right? We'll bring him in to talk Rally Point, and we'll switch to a little West Warwick football. So shout out to Wes Pennington. Definitely, if you're going to be around, go check that out. Watch this quick little video of Tlyer Turner, Nate Turner's son.
Ball. Ball.
That's what's up, man. That's the kid Tyler Turner out of Chicago, plays for Phillips High School. Son of Nate Turner, went to the NFL 1992, sixth round pick, played for Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nate does a lot for high school football, always give it back. But definitely get out to the free men's breakfast Saturday, September 11th at 10 a.m. In fact, before Coach Nod comes in, we're going to bring Wes Pennington in real quick and talk a little bit about this. Coach, what's going on?
What's happening, man?
All right, I told people, I said, let's get him in here real quick to talk a little bit about this rally point since it's coming up. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I really appreciate you advertising the free men's breakfast this Saturday, September 11th at 10 o'clock. We're going to get some food for our soul and some food for our spirit, and it's going to let guys know that they're not alone and, we can do this together, be the better men that we're all called to be.
And you're definitely a great man for that. I was telling Nate Turner, which played for the Buffalo Bills, the Carolina Panthers. I told him about you, Emerson, and what you guys do for the community. And these kids.
Amen. No, I was listening a little bit to your broadcast, and Nate Turner, good man. But I really want to encourage guys, if you're listening out there and you have some free time Saturday morning, you make some free time. It's worth you making free time to attend this. You won't regret it. Are you there, Mike?
Oh, sorry about that. Before I let you go, Coach, you got a big game coming up this week. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we got Cranston West. I mean, great program, great coaching staff over there, and we're just excited to get out there and go to their place on Friday night and hopefully play a good game. Be competitive and get after it. And let the chips fall where they may. See what happens. But we're excited to play. Kids are excited. The program's alive and kicking, and everybody's excited about what's going on in West Warwick. So we're just ready to go play football.
All right, definitely, man. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the advertisement.
Definitely get out to see the Rally Point Free Men's Breakfast. We're gonna bring our guy in. Look at these dudes. This is the BTP, original BTP in the house. BTP, definitely support behind the pads, man. Coach Nod, my guy, always getting it done. What's good?
What's up, Coach? How you doing, Mike? How's everything?
Ain't doing slow motion better than no motion. You know what I mean? Just rocking this football thing, September 10th. It all starts, forget what you did last week. It's about this week, man. Listen, you're defending an NFL flag championship, man, with these guys that I have in my background. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, man, to see this group of kids do what they've been doing, because it's like they did it last year. They showed their dominance. They were nationally ranked, and to come back this year, same crew, upper age level, but the same crew just continued dominance, man. These guys went down to Atlanta. They beat a very good Miami team in Atlanta to win that tournament. They played Miami in the championship. And I don't know about you, my brother, but when a lot of teams from up north travel down south and they play, and you hear them playing teams like Miami or Jacksonville, any team from Florida in the championship, Rhode Island usually don't end up on the good side of that stick,
No, Rhode Island don't. And even when we go down as far as Maryland, we have trouble.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So to hear these kids go to Atlanta, man, and then beat Miami in the chip to go 4, they went 5-0 that tournament. These guys are supposed to be on his thing with us. I sent them the link. But
yeah, some of them are here. I'm going to bring them in. We have Antonio here, Nashon, Nashawn's in the house. I'm gonna bring them up in just a second, But I wanted to let people and people know, that you have a fundraiser,
Yes, sir.
and we have it right here. And tell people how to get if they want to donate.
Well, and people that want to donate, please inbox me on Facebook, or they can inbox BTP. You can go to Behind the Pads on Facebook, Behind the Pads BTP on Facebook. You can inbox us. Then we can shoot you out the link because we tried to go a little professional this time with our fundraiser. It's a
Oh,
decent
okay.
little website that we linked up with, and it has little quirks and stuff that you can do because like you can donate and then you can ask a big major company to match your donation. So that's pretty dope. That's a pretty nice website, man. So definitely, man, as far as like any form of donation, because again, we are a nonprofit, and this is something we do. No, I hate to say it like this, but Behind the Pads is a travel club. It's something that you create out of your backyard. You just have to be in touch with the kids in your community to pick up the talent because you got to understand we're travel. We go to tournaments, so it's not a season. It's not a season where we can instruct the kids and teach them. We're going right to tournaments. That's the big time. So there's no instructions. So we got to grab the kids that we get that qualify and we train them to make them even better than what they are. So it's not really instructional, man. It's the best of the best that we take to travel, man. So definitely salute to these kids, man. And,
So any corporations out there that definitely want to get behind the pads and push these guys to San Diego, it's more than welcome. It's a good cause. Like you worked very hard during COVID, you and a lot. I'm always shouting out. Here's the link. Actually, one of your kids put that link, but you could definitely inbox Coach Nod. Let me bring in some of you guys. Here we go. I'll get them all up in here, and
hey, what's up, T? That's one of the co-founders, Tanita, or that might be her husband, Coach Harold, man. He does
I'm
a lot
always
for.
shouting you and hurling out, and I actually say like, and I've been screaming when you was on here before, when you guys gonna get your opportunity, and I see you on the sideline at Bishop Hendricken, so you're definitely doing your things, and I think Coach Perry will definitely he's Coach Pennington already said reach out to him and he'll put him right on the staff.
Facts. That's my guy, man. It's awesome thing that we're doing. Him being over there at LaSalle, me being at Hendy. It's just our way of trying to, give our community options. Definitely give our community options, because being in the inner city, being from the inner city, we don't have a lot of options. Mike, you know how it was growing up. We didn't have options, man. It was either,
We
we went
still
outside.
don't.
We still don't have out. Yeah, exactly. You know what I
We
mean?
still don't.
So to give these kids options and another place to play, man, is something that we pride ourselves in and we strive for.
I was talking about that when Nate Turner played on several Super Bowls. He was on before you guys came on. He played for the Buffalo Bills. His son plays for inner city in Chicago, and we were talking about how do we get more kids off the streets and onto these programs like yours and other 7-on-7s and even the high school.
Yeah, that's definitely what we got to do. Got to get, options, man. Options. Jada Kiss said it, man. Options a beautiful thing.
I thought you was a I can't even think of their name anymore. I thought you ran with Dipset.
No. I'm old school. But we have a couple. Who's on here? Tanita, what's up, sis? T, what's
Maybe.
up? She said I might.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, sis? That's one of the co-founders, Mike.
All
Hi, what's
right.
going on?
Tell us what you do with BTP and how it's important in your life.
Well, I'm a team mom, and I've been helping coordinate this fundraiser for the kids. It's important because obviously my husband's a coach, and I have a son that plays on the team. And I also coach inner city youth. I'm a cheerleading coach for the Mount Hope Cowboys. I just think it's really important to give back to your community.
Exactly, man. Shout out to you for doing what you do. You know, definitely for a lot of these kids, especially on the South. You know what I mean? When we're talking Providence, you know, a lot of these inner city kids they got nowhere to go. There's no more community centers like back in the day. You had all the rec centers used to be open. You know, they got nowhere to go and they have no mentors. So shout out to what Herlin's doing and what Miss Perry's doing and what Coach Nod's doing. And I'm sure you have many other people that you would love to thank and bless. And I think hang on, we got someone else joining you. Here we go. Herlin himself, man. Shout out to the man. What's
Turn your mic
going
on.
on? Turn your mic on.
What's going on, guys?
All right. We were just talking to Miss Perry about what BTP means to her. What's it mean to you?
What does BTP mean to me? It's just it means a lot, giving the kids a lot of exposure and camaraderie and brotherhood and really getting to travel together to places where they usually want to get to travel to. So
Now, who else is on here? Antonio's on here. You could introduce him all, Coach Nod.
Hey, Antonio, turn your mic on, Antonio. Sean, turn your mic on. I'm trying to raise these funds. Y'all can't be quiet with mics on.
Right, trying to make this money. Trying to make this money.
Antonio.
Takes money to make money.
Yeah.
I see. Hey, Mike, there's one of our players right there, Antonio.
What's up, Antonio, man? How you like playing for these two great coaches, man? Coach Nod doing his thing. Coach Herlin, Ben doing his thing. Emerson shows him love. Coach Willie Edwards shows him love.
It's been a fun time playing with Coach Hurl and Coach Na. I've definitely learned a lot playing with them. And most likely got out of my comfort zone from Coach Hurl yelling at me most of the times about being a mama's boy.
Shout out to him.
But it's been fun playing with a lot of them, and especially growing a brotherhood with all of them. It's been a fun time, especially playing with all of them.
What does it mean to you going to defend your guys' title in San Diego at the NFL Flag Championship game?
It's going to mean a lot to us if we can actually win that. I think as a team, going down all the way to the West Coast and winning something, especially that we won Atlanta and down south we won that, I think that boosted our mentalities a lot more. And I think now that we have one of our players being able to come back, hopefully, for LA, I think our mentality is going to be show what we have and what we can do.
So listen, corporations, they need sponsorship, man. Hook them up. Maybe we can get a nice airline, fly you guys right over there. You know what I mean? But they need sponsorship. Definitely donate to them. Reach out to Coach Nod, Coach Herlin, Miss Perry. I'll put all their names in later, man. Nashawn, what's good? I'll mute your mic.
How you doing?
All right. How do you like playing for behind the pads?
It's fun. I love the coaches. And I love the players too.
What's one thing that do you get yelled at a lot too?
Yeah.
They breaking you boys, you know, but they're teaching you what are you learning from all this?
I'm learning a lot. How to be a better player and a better man.
How to be a better man. That's it. Do you want to go on to college?
Yeah.
Coach Nod, you do a college tour as well?
Tell them, Sean, where you been?
I've been to the University of Georgia.
UGA.
Xavier Truss, see the big boy Xbox over there.
I gotta I have to give that total credit because this is a group effort. My BTP, the people the adults that run it, me, me, myself, Coach Hurlin Perry, his wife, and my wife, Rosemary O'Connor. If it, like the four of us kind of spearhead this whole thing. So, and it was his, you know, it was his idea to add the college tour to what we do, man, and it was brilliant. Brilliant idea. It sets us up because there's a lot of travel teams out here. There's a lot of travel clubs all over the country, but we really feel what makes us different is the above. Is not just the football, not just the sport. It's what we do off the field. What we, you know what I mean. And to be able to, hey, man, he took them kids. Coach Hurlin took them kids down to Atlanta. They visited University of Georgia Saturday and then went and won the tournament on Sunday. You can't tell me that visit didn't play a role in their mentality going into winning that tournament.
And then they come back and they play Boston, right, after Atlanta.
Yeah, we go to Boston and spank.
And you didn't have to do that.
Man, that's Coach Harold, man. He has that group of kids, him and that group, they've been together for a while, for at least 2 or 3 years now, and they got a real mesh, real camaraderie that's like it's on a national level, man. It's really on a national level what Harold's doing with those kids, man. So that's my brother, man. I salute him. And like I said, 2022, we're raising money to go to LA, take this group to LA, but we're also we're gonna make BTP bigger. We want a 10U team, a 12U team, a 14U team. We got the high school division because we just came off of that breakthrough, and we also want to put a girls team together. Definitely want to get the young ladies out there.
Behind the pads, 401 can ball. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Make sure we lost one. We got her back, Miss Perry. She back. So anything else? Sometimes the links just fall off. So you can actually inbox any of the coaches, or you can make a donation on there. We have a page that's being shared around. I had it up here a second ago. Let me see if I can get back to it 1 second. And actually, we have the link right here. So if somebody wants to, there's the link if somebody wants to make a donation. And we actually have the page that you can go on Coach Nod's Facebook page or Coach Perry or Miss Perry or any of the behind the pads spokespersons or parents.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you, Mike, man. Yeah. You're dope, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Oh, yeah. Do your thing and get down to San Diego. And I definitely want to get you on. I got another sports network out of Maryland, so maybe we can get you over there talking about what Behind the Pads doing. And maybe you can get a Behind the Pads going in other states as well.
Whoa. Yeah, we'll work on this one first. But yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
You missed my show last night. I had Voice Sports. We had youth reporters from all over the country. Ohio. We had Indy, Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee. So we're getting all these kids and our kids recognized and their kids recognized. We had Nate Turnaround a little while ago, former Buffalo Bills, went to the Super Bowl. We're trying to motivate these kids, but it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. But the ones that want it, man, will come out. That's again, I think that's why we do this tournament thing, because you just can't. Again, it's not instructional. This is not instructional. We would love to take every kid we could possibly take, but to some of these tournaments, it's not an instructional thing. You understand? So we're really trying to when you travel and play it out of state on a national level, you have to put your best foot forward.
So you really have to come to ball.
Yes. And that young man, Nate Sean, we just got finished speaking to, he's one of them, bro. He is he's a special breed, man. He's definitely one of the top receivers in the state as a freshman.
It looks like Harold just joined the conversation too. We got another player right down here at the bottom. Harold?
So you can tell your mic on, Harold. Turn your mic on, Harold. So that's Harold's the QB, man. He's the QB, the all around. I call him Showtime, man. That kid, when he gets the ball in open field on a flag field, man, that boy gets loose. I
So
mean, he gets loose.
breakthrough must have gave you guys some good experience.
Yeah. Can't knock breakthrough, but what we've been doing a lot longer than that. we,
Oh
we,
no, yeah, definitely, no doubt.
yeah,
But playing that open space environment, no pads. It must be great practice because it's high speed, high tempo.
definitely. It definitely gets us ready to travel. It gets us ready to travel. Um, one of the things we like to say about BTP is we're not local. There's nothing about us that's local.
Just a word.
Nothing about us is
You
local.
loco? You said we not local, we local.
Definitely.
Well, we just wait for Hurl to turn his mic on. Maybe we can chat with the quarterback a little bit. Hurling, a lot of people show you love. Emerson Kilgore, Willie Edwards. Your name resonates in Rhode Island football, whether it's youth, high school level.
Talking to you, Sid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I've been doing this for a while, and it's really all about the kids. So, um, putting in the hard work, the effort, teaching them how to play the game the right way, how to be good on and off the field. Always tell them the definition of characters, what you do when no one's looking. So, definitely trying to teach these guys the right way. So,
Because someone's always looking.
yeah.
Even when you think they not looking, they always looking.
Yeah.
And we all know the hate goes around the room, but we just can't allow that to happen. We have to promote Rhode Island football as a whole, and we have to do this together. And check our egos at the door or something.
They have their eye on him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Hurl, you got your mic off yet?
He can't. He can't figure it out.
It's that little microphone. I can't. I don't think I could shut his mic off from this end. I mean, it's getting high tech here, but not that much. People sleeping on classical, huh?
Yeah, turn your mic on so we can hear you.
Yep, I think he just. Let me see if he.
Oh, he left. He probably coming back.
All right, yeah. Maybe sometimes that also happens. There's gonna be some great high school football this year.
Oh yeah, man, insane. That
You're getting ready to take a trip to Iona.
Yeah, Saturday morning. But to watch that, I watched that LaSalle Hendricken Froshmore game that my brother Harold coaches that Froshmore team. That was pretty interesting, man. That was pretty interesting. LaSalle's Froshmore they've won the spring and the fall. Pretty interesting, man.
Yeah. Congratulations to you, Hurling, to being on that LaSalle squad, and that's going to be a great rivalry. You on LaSalle, Coach Nod over there. Now you're fighting for chips because the chips are falling somewhere. You gotta shut your mic off now. He lit up for that one.
Usually we're together, but the last few seasons we've been banging heads on the sideline, and what makes it more interesting is you got Hurling at LaSalle when you got Nashon at Hendricken. So them guys are used to going side by side with each other, Hurling to Nashon. Now they was going against each other. So that was different the first time in their career that they went against each other. So
yeah, that was smooth.
Coach Willie Edwards said when Coach Nod gets a hold of them wide receivers.
Listen, man, I learned everything from that.
What was that, Coach?
Good looking, man. Hey, Mike, I got everything. I learned everything from that brother, Hurling Perry, man. He taught me how to do this. Taught me how to do this 8 years ago. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. That's real rap. That's my guy.
Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to you, hurling. Shout out to my guy Mike Murray, what he does in the community. There's so many great. I can go on and on. And I show you guys love because you guys are not really even like 401. Like, I mean, you are 401 now, but you came from outside the box and you fight for these kids like you be ready to scrap sometimes.
That's just the block I come from, Mike. I'm sorry. He'll be like, yo, nah, it's crazy. Nah, man, I'm just from New Jersey, man. I'm sorry. I guess we just different in Jersey, man. And I will always be Jersey till I die, man. And when the wrong is wrong and right is right, and I'm gonna stand I'm gonna stand my ground whether the whole world's against me or not.
My
And
guy out there in Jersey, Pace One, the outsiders,
yeah.
they still salty over Eminem leaving them on the sidewalk. They saying now Eminem stole their style, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Shout out
Definitely
to shout out to underground hip hop, definitely.
Hey, Little Harold, did you fix your mic yet, Little Harold?
Let's
Turn your
see.
mic on, Little Harold.
Yep, he has to. Let me see if I could send him a private chat. Hang on.
But we definitely appreciate you, Mike, for having us on, man. Definitely the kids, the coaches, the moms. That was awesome.
You were always invited. You already know anytime you got anything you want to promote. Let me try pulling them out and I'll put them back in. Anytime you have anything you want to promote, you already know we here for you. I'm gonna put your flyer up on the website. I'm constantly gonna talk about behind the pads like I have been, because I appreciate what you're doing. And if any corporations out there kick in, you know what I mean? You got two pockets, reach in one of them, pull out a checkbook, and write that behind the pads.
I forgot to send you the flyer for our poker tournament. We got a poker tournament at Skyline at Water Place, that club across the street from Providence Place Mall.
Yeah.
We got a poker tournament going on there. It's gonna be awesome, man. It's a free poker tournament. Just come in. You ain't got to just come in. It's a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser poker tournament. Just come in, sit down, and play. There's prizes for first, second, and third places. Just you have to no initial buy-in. Just come, sit down, play, enjoy the food. Football will be on. This is going to be a really good time. We'll try to do 2 events, but the first behind the pads poker fundraiser is September 19th. September 19th, 4:00 at Skyline Water Place. At Water Place.
That's right across from Providence Place Mall. For the ones that don't get to the city much, Fans Only Sports said reach out to them. They could live stream it and put a donation bar where people can just donate live on the stream.
What stream? That's awesome. Awesome.
Fans Only. Ronnie Roberts runs that. I could put you in. I could put you in touch with him. They have the Cranston West Warwick games going to be live. The podcast is on there. This will be on the app as well. Technology, man. Rhode Island is leading the country in live streaming youth sports.
Well, listen, hopefully, let's see, we leave February 3rd. We leave February 3rd. We play February 6th. February 5th is our first round robin game. So hopefully we can get on. February 5th is a Saturday night. Hopefully we can come back on here and we'll talk to you from the Airbnb, right from the tournament, bro. Right from Los Angeles, man. That'll be crazy.
Yo, that would be crazy. And you already know. I already told you. You called me at lunch break, said we got to talk about something. If you're not drawing plays up in the buildings. Shout out to you, Coach Nod. Shout out to Coach Hurlin. Shout out to Miss Perry. Shout out to all behind the pads. Oh, and a big shout out to the original behind the pads. I don't want to forget nobody.
Definitely.
All right, Coach Nod. Thank you. And definitely inbox Coach Nod if you want to sponsor. Oh, you're so welcome, man. You're always welcome on. You're welcome, man. Definitely. you're putting on for Rhode Island. You just have to come back with that championship again so you can defend it for a third time.
Definitely.
Sure.
Let me get these boys through their high school seasons, and then we off to LA, man. We off to LA.
And good luck to you and Hurlin. I don't know who to root for now coming down to the LaSalle Hendricken game. Who's gonna? I don't know. Central's looking pretty spicy right now, so I ain't counting Coach Washout. But the rest of the divisions, the rest of it is looking kind of small this season.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But we'll be talking again soon, Mike. I appreciate you, brother.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Behind the pads, man. Coach Nod in the house. Coach Hurlin, doing his thing. I did not even know Coach Hurlin was over there at LaSalle. So definitely inbox Coach Nod. I will I'll tag him when I push this video out in a little bit. I want to thank the people that are always helping me out. R&I Elite Recruits, information on over 3,000 schools. And listen, if you want to promote the podcast, definitely you can promote your brand on here. Shout out to my guy, Emerson Kilgore. No one's doing it like 401 Strength and Fitness. And my guy, Wes Pennington, listen, for the guys, free men's breakfast, Saturday, September 11th at 10 a.m. Get food for the soul and the body. That's what's up. Because we got to do more to keep these kids off these streets.
You nervous with butterflies in your stomach? Don't try to intimidate me. You couldn't scare me with lip. I'm spontaneous, smart, dangerous, fancy and quick. My trainer told me to work. He ain't prepared me to quit. I'm the only captain who's sailing this championship.